Okay, here we go. We're here. We did it. This will be, was this like episode 15, 16, whatever? New episode of the talk show. This is going to be a big one. This will be our most important one on the marathon stuff. Since we haven't done one since the release here. Well, I guess
This is episode 14.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Wrong on the numbers, guy. So since the last one, we're like 2 weeks deep here in the marathon launch. We're moved quite a bit along. I guess I'll do a quick overview. So we've got duo queues are in the game. We have CRYO coming out tomorrow. The ARG stuff is almost finished. Notice I didn't say completely finished. And then ranked mode comes out this week as well. And that's like pretty much it. I think that's everything that they promised for season 1 will be out by like tomorrow. So what are we thinking? How are we How are we feeling? Give us like your overview, what you think about everything, how it's gone. What do you think? What do you think about marathon?
I'm gonna follow through with like this is the most fun I've had playing video games in a very long time.
In a very long time, not overall, huh? It's not quite number 1.
It's up there. I would argue it's number 1, but I'd have to give it like another season before I make that decision. Just because it's a live service game, and like I want to see like what a second season looks like exactly. Because what I'm curious about is like the power creep and just like finishing out the rest of the season. Because you have like your people who are unemployed and level 150 already. Like, what is that going to look like from a gameplay standpoint? So I just like want to see like what they do to cater to all that. And like we don't have ranked mode yet, and that's a new twist on it. So I want to see like all of it. But
for reference, it looks like he doesn't have any purple shields left. The guy who's level 150, in case you were curious. So I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact. It looks like he's getting shots pretty often.
Okay, good.
Just wanted to take a few shots at the Destiny 2 kids while I could, you know. But anyway,
I don't know. It would probably be close to number 1 right now. I have woken up and all I've thought about is how to make my day work to where I can play marathon. So
maybe a little bit of the video game addiction going on, huh?
Yeah, I just want to play through all of it and the content. I'm like when I get fixated on it, I'm like I want to play through all of it and then I'm good. I'm like in the fixate part.
Once you're level 100, you'll be happy.
I think once I get through, what I really want for me personally is it's like the codex entries, like the master codex entries. I really want a title. There's like the archivist or the prison breaker, like those.
And the most important one, the third one is, you know it, come on.
Archivist. Did I say that already?
Oh, it's called Grave Robber, dude. Come on.
Oh, Grave Robber.
How did you forget
that?
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I hate you.
Don't stop it. There's no reason to. I'm just a human.
Last.
I think once I get a title, I think that's my personal like. Okay, yeah, I've gone through because like to get all those titles, you need to play and get to like all the end game stuff and get the loot drops, and so you have to like play quite a bit to get it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a pretty encompassing way of like capturing. I've played through the content, and this is how I feel about it.
Give us a rating on a scale 1 to 10. What do you think about marathon? Couple weeks in, couple weeks
Still
under your belt. Still a 9 out of 10. Freakishly high. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Even with all the adjustments to all my favorite stuff, I still like
unironically everything that you like has been nerfed more than anything else. Blackbird, Hardline, Waster, like unironically.
And I had to completely change playstyles, and like it didn't feel bad to try and learn something new. I think that's why I enjoyed it so much, because like even like we went through your tier list, and like even if we go in knowing that I'm gonna be on like assassin if I wanted to play it and like just get used to it. Okay, it would still be fun to me to learn how to do it in some capacity. I just don't want to do it because I haven't mastered Destroyer yet. So, and like I still enjoy Recon. I don't have all the unlocks for them, and like I'm not in a hurry to get all of it done. So,
Yeah. Are you gonna try and get like all the skins for all the characters with the sponsor kits? Like that's gonna be on your list to unlock everything, or?
yeah, I mean we're gonna be. I'm not gonna stop playing anytime soon. So, like keep it interesting, keep it fun.
I thought it was gonna die in a few weeks, though. I thought we were like about to lose all of our players and die in a few weeks.
Do I look
Paul T.O.C
like a
said,
comment
dude.
section? Do I look like a comment section or a Twitch chat? No.
Twitch chat, yes. Comment section, no.
Hey.
It's just the backwards hat, though. No worries. Classic.
I am my own person, Chuck. All right.
That's true. You are. Yeah, I think I asked you before the podcast started, but just once more for a record, what level are you right now? And then, like, roughly how many priority contracts do you have left?
81. I got through the perimeter, like you scan Nucleorc's scientist, the one that everyone's posting about. I got
Dr.
through
Song?
that part.
Don't even know her name.
Yeah, Dr.
Classic.
Song.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, it was like 2 a.m.
I'm teasing.
And then I finished Mida. I finished Cyber Acmes. I mean the ones that are available before Cryo. I finished Arachne. Arachne I hit VIP last night.
Wow, that's pretty good. Is that your first VIP? I'm assuming it is.
Arachne. Yep, Arachne was my first VIP. Traxxas I still need to work on. I just unlocked the level 20s, or I'm about to. And then what's the last one? Sekaguchi. We haven't played a lot of Dire Marsh because I have not played with you very much, so I don't have like basically any Dire Marsh done for Sekaguchi. So
is that going to be my new thing? Am I the Dire Marsh guy? Is that my new title?
No, I don't think. I think your title is Chuck.
Just that, huh?
Yeah,
Better than it being
the marathon
bad,
player.
The marathon player. There's a group of TikTokers. There's like 20 of them. They get in there and they call me John Marathon in all of my TikToks, and it makes me angry. I wish they'd stop. But okay.
I'll call you John Marathon from now on.
Nope. There is another man who has earned the John Marathon name, and he has like thousands of hours in all of the marathon games. His background is Durandal. His profile picture is Durandal. That's the John Marathon guy on Steam. He earned that name fair and square. So anyway,
all right.
I'm level 95, and I've done.
Let me ask the question.
Oh,
Chuck, what level are you?
I'm a level 95, like halfway to 96.
Jesus Christ.
I haven't been like grinding levels for quite a while. I finished the priority contracts. It finished at like, I want to say I was level 77, somewhere in there. So the last many levels are like a grind to get the XP. I've started like literally trolling, and like we're in the middle of a 3-way team fight, and I will start shooting the bots behind us because I want the XP from killing the robots.
I mean,
like that was literally happening a few days ago.
Are you chasing bosses around like really hard now?
Yeah, well, I don't know about really hard because we're not like spawning in and sprinting to them. Because it's more like I get dropped into the map and then I just genocide everything.
Yeah, you clean out the map, you do the rotate, then you I mean that's the way
That's not really any different than what I was doing before though. Like that's like pretty similar to what I've been doing the whole time, with the exception of like a few of the Sekaguchi ones where like. So she has one where you have to do the whole dance of like bioresearch, quarantine, and then after you do that like twice, then you have to touch the top of the roof of every single monument. So for like 2 or 3 raids, I was like avoiding combat completely because you like literally don't have enough time. It takes 17 minutes to do all of that, and the raid is 23 minutes. So like you have to be kind of serious about getting that done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sekaguchi, that's kind of why I put it off, is because like Dire Marsh is like the most fun, but also you can get bogged down in fights. And so, especially if you spawn at bio, oh my god, everyone collapses on you or is moving through the map to you. So it's just like you're fighting constantly.
Yeah.
So, and no, not everyone's as efficient as you, Chuck. So, you know,
certainly, no argument there. But yeah, so I'm gonna have level 100 here, and I'm probably gonna get it right around like 115 hours. I could probably have had it about 40 hours sooner. I've probably got like 10 hours of like content farming, so like running around and getting thumbnails or like recording stuff. And then I probably have like 30 hours of either like not doing contracts and like purely chasing PvP and griefing people. And then like probably 20 hours of playing Rook. Like actually 20 hours of playing Rook. He's a lot of fun. I like all of it. It's been a long time since I was able to do like the scav run on reserve, and like I don't know, it's just like a lot of fun. It's super profitable all by itself, which is like what the incentive is. And then on top of that, like it's awesome. I'll get into raids where like I find a dead group that has like some blue stuff left over because they got crushed by a purple team and they just left everything, and then like I'll just kill the rest of the teams on the map. Or a lot of the outpost runs I'll spawn into at like 12 minutes, and all of the players are like dead because they were all sponsor kits, and nobody even unlocked Pinwheel. And then like I'll just unlock Pinwheel, and then I'll do everything: open command wing, open the red room, get the gold box.
Oh wow!
And like that's a lot of fun too. And then I have a lot of runs where I like team up with other rooks and we kill players, or we kill other rooks, or I've teamed up with a few of the other player squads. Anybody who will be friendly with me on Outpost, I'll be friendly with on the rook run. Pretty similar to like the scav as well.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun doing that.
Are you using prox chat a lot?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All for literally
there's like the
everyone
global like crouch up and down with two rooks like that are creeping around. But
yeah.
There's like the prox chat piece of it. I've used prox chat a little bit on Rook and it's fun.
I'm just running around using prox chat the whole time pretty much. The only time I won't is if like I can get a decent weapon that I know I can kill people with, and I like find a group that's like opening Pinwheel, then I'll like immediately try and kill those ones. But other than that, I'm like friendly with everybody across the board. Even when I find players, like I'll be on like a rooftop and there'll be like a full group running under me and they won't know I'm there, and I could just kill one and I'll be like, hey guys, I'm a friendly rook, and then we like see what happens from there. I've got a lot of clips of like finding a long shot and then waiting at the final extract on Outpost and then killing an entire group as the rook, and they never get to leave. That's really depressing because everybody lets their guard down there. Yeah, Rook's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play that way. It's very, very similar to like scavving in the early days of like scav karma and stuff. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, rooks are fun. They're fun to play.
I don't know why people are rooking into perimeter in Dire Marsh. That's unbelievably stupid, but nonetheless we see them. Sometimes we let them live.
There's not enough loot. There's not enough loot for players, so I don't understand unless you have keys. Like I feel like keys are like the name of the game for that map at this point. Like later.
Yeah, so it's kind of the exact same like mentality as the scavving in Tarkov. Is like everyone scavved into Lighthouse and Reserve, and like you didn't really scav anywhere else because there wasn't really any high concentrations of loot or high concentrations of PvP areas for you to guess. I guess Interchange for a while, but they kind of changed scav timer, so nobody did that anymore. But yeah, and that's like kind of what Outpost is. Like you have like a 70% chance of spawning into Outpost. You're guaranteed to dead players, so better gear. Your guaranteed stuff is unlooted or left behind, so better barter items and stuff.
Yep.
Whereas like you're not guaranteed any of that pretty much on Dire Marsh perimeter, and the same with Tarkov, right? Customs, woods, like I don't even know what scavving into factory is my mind-boggling thing that people would do. I never understood any of that, but yeah, yeah. So the rooks are good. But yeah, I think probably do it about 40 hours faster in the future, getting to level 100. It's probably anywhere from like 60 to 80 hours of priority contracts content-wise, which is something that's like kind of an unsung hero that I feel like people aren't talking about. There is an incredible amount of content in Marathon. I think the number one thing that I was worried about was that there wouldn't be nearly enough content in Marathon. Like, I was worried we'd come out with, like, 20 priority contracts, and, like, that'd be it. But there is a ton. And then you kind of implied that we were going to get more priority contracts with Cryo. I don't think they've confirmed any of that, but I think almost certainly we're going to get more, right? What would be the point of releasing it without them?
Yeah, well, there's like it's alluded to in the codex, and I saw it online, but then I went and go look in the codex for Cryo. There's like weekend Cyber Acme contracts that if you get them all done in the weekend, you get rewards for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I went and looked myself, and they're there. So it's definitely Cyber Acme. It has like special. It's kind of like it's a content that you never did in Destiny, but on the weekends they had Trials of Osiris. It's like round based and like super sweaty.
I hear about the Trials of Osiris PvP players all the time.
Like the way that it sounds is very reminiscent of like that format where it's like you have the weekend from like Friday to Monday morning to get through all these contracts. It's super sweaty. Everyone's playing it. Everyone's trying to get these special rewards to get this done. And if you get it, you get an emblem that like you can rep everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I know quite a bit about the Trials of Osiris PvP players. They're usually crying on the ground begging me for their life or saying that I'm cheating is usually where I see them the most. But I do hear about those quite a bit, yeah. I know that the ranked mode's also going to be like a weekend only thing, so I wonder if that will be like ranked.
I didn't know that. Wait, ranked is only on the weekends?
Only going to be weekends, and it will switch maps every weekend. Yeah.
What?
A little bit odd.
Weird. I wonder if the ranked modes have the Cyber Acme contracts and then it's just like Cryo specifically.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people have been speculating about more priority contracts. I think we will. I think we'll get at least like one more line for everybody for Cryo. It'd be kind of crazy if we didn't, I think.
Yeah. Cuz like everyone's invested and like that's the home of like all their investments. So
well, it's also Marathon, right? Like, yes, we're playing Marathon, but like, no, we're not. We're on T.O.C. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go back, dude. What's going on here? Let me in.
Let me get on the ship. I'm so excited. It looks so good.
Yeah. I guess we can just jump in and talk about the Cryo stuff. So it comes out tomorrow, I guess. We had 2 steps for the ARG drop last night. All of the content creators who were doing the ARG steps didn't talk about one of them, which I thought was super weird. The only one that people were advertising were the 500 million UASC kills, which we are not going to be anywhere near on when Cryo comes out tomorrow. So I'm wondering if that's going to unlock something else. Like, I wonder if we're not going to be able to kill the compiler. Like, maybe he's in Vault 7, and Vault 7 doesn't unlock until we kill the 500 million UASC or something.
That'd be fun.
But the others,
I hope they do something like that because it's like, why even put that as a, like, why are we putting that as a limiter and then conveniently forgetting about it?
Yeah. Even when you look at the website that says like the counter, it says on the top that like Cryo Archive unlocks on March 20th, which is like super interesting because we're still like 160 million kills away. So anyway, the other step that dropped was this new website. We had to have like 776 people pushing 3 boxes at the same time or something, and they got that in the middle of the night. I got in there. I was doing it on both my computers. I was helping. But that, I think, is what unlocked Cryo here, because I think we finished that around like 6 a.m., and that's when people were data mining it and seeing that Cryo was active, and then obviously a couple hours ago they dropped the cinematic for Cryo. But anyway, so we'll have to see. Jury's still out on the 500 million UASC kills. I'm excited to see if and when that comes out. But yeah, we got a little bit more footage of the gameplay on Cryo. There's just like dead bodies everywhere. Just kind of fun. I was joking with Zach. We watched it on stream 7 minutes after it came out. And I was joking with Zach. I was like, man, I really hope that like Cryo's actually dangerous, and it doesn't just end up me dying one time in 25 raids on Cryo in a row, because it's just going to be a bunch of like PvE stuff that's like easy to kill. I think if you go into Cryo with your meta loadout, your false meta loadout, your perceived meta loadout, so you're a thief, you have a bully, and you have a battle rifle, and you bring like 1 stack of meds in, and you have 2 stacks of ammo, I think those players are going to get crushed on Cryo. I think it's going to be a joke. I think they're going to get slaughtered. If you are playing the game how I'm doing it, where like we're going in with our real meta runner shells, your purple shield, you have cores that actually work with your character. I killed a guy with a gold shield on Outpost, and he had a purple core that let him regenerate his heat bar while sliding in water on Outpost. Sliding in water on Outpost, and he had a core. So I think if you have cores that like work with your character, if you like read them before you put them on your guy, you're bringing like 20 stacks of ammo in. Your backpack is literally full. My backpack has 4 slots. The purple backpack has 4 slots available in it when I start a raid. That's how much healing items and bullets I have.
Are you gonna bring in like all the extras too? So like the mechanic cards, the like cardio kick, energy amps, like all that stuff? Or are you just gonna do like the?
No. None of that stuff
like
has enough of an impact. I'm not even running cardio kicks now because I don't think that they matter. It's kind of sad.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's like the one that eliminates frost, and this is probably going to be the map with the frost because we haven't seen it.
Yeah,
and it looks cold in there. So like you're not gonna like just in case like first few raids.
No. But the first few raids, I'm not going to go in heavy. I'm probably going to run in with like a blue shield and just a conquest, and we're just going to like see. I'm not going to bring keys for my first raid, and we're just going to
absolutely
go scout it out. But yeah, I mean, if we need that stuff, then yeah. But like, I'm not planning on bringing it. It's looking like Cryo will only be open during the weekends, like drink mode. No.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't think that's right. I
feel like Cryo's.
Where are you getting that from, Zach? Zach's saying that. I'm not sure if he's asking because we made it sound like that, or if he saw that somewhere. I don't think so. That would be crazy.
There's like special contracts that are available on the weekends only.
Wait a second. In the video, they're in the top of complex and the door is locked and it says red. And then after some time, it turns green, and then they're in it. And then once they get out, it turns back to red. So is that them saying? Okay, Zach just said it's in the notes on Steam.
Oh no, I'm gone this week. Jesus.
Dude, is TJ not going to get to play on Cryo? Holy
No, I will, because like Friday afternoon I'll be able to play, but I leave Saturday afternoon. And I will be gone Saturday night, Sunday, all day.
Welcome to Cryo Archive. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. Let me see here.
That's so unfortunate. It's okay. It's all right. We have future weeks. It's fine. It's okay. I don't have anything in April, so we're okay.
Cryo opens up for play on the weekends starting this Friday, March 20th. Minimum runner level 25. All 6 factions unlocked. Minimum loadout value 5,000 credits. That means you can't
literally a lighthouse vibe.
Interesting.
That's unfortunate.
Interesting. That's kind of bullshit. Is there anything else that's valuable in this post that I need to talk about right now? Contracts in the cold. If you like structure with your suffering, Cryo Archive specific contracts are there for you. Here's how they work. When Cryo Archive is available, a pool of 7 unique Cryo contracts appears in CyberArcme. You and your crew can re-roll which contract is active, so you're all working toward the same objective during a run. Completing a contract removes it from your pool for that week. When Cryo Archive returns the next weekend, progress resets and the full slate returns. Each contract you complete provides you with a random high rarity item, which could be a locked room key, vault key, material, or piece of gear. Unique codex rewards as well.
I'm sorry. I can't get past how like it is an extraction shooter version of Trials. It's crazy.
Interesting.
Because the stakes keep raising because you keep getting better quality loot as you go through the contracts, right? They had a Trials card, and as you got more wins, the tension increased, and like the best rewards at the end of you completing all those contracts was like super high-end rare gear that you could only get in that activity. So it's like it feels 1 for 1, and then you could reset your card to 0, or they had like special buffs for Trials specifically that I don't think they have here because it's more punishing. But like the structure of it just makes me laugh because I can't. Everything you just said, I was like, okay, so we're playing Trials this weekend is what we're doing.
Well, you're not, but we will be. Yeah. Right, TJ?
Okay, all right.
That's interesting that it's only going to be open on weekends. If ranked is also only open on weekends, like they're going to try and split the ranked players from the CRYO players? I don't know. That's interesting.
Is it in the notes that ranked is only on the weekends?
Yeah, we've done that for months. That rank's only gonna be on weekends.
Yeah, so like everyone's gonna be playing Cryo
For the first
that's
weekend
weird.
at least.
Why?
Maybe this is the weekend if you want to get the gold so you can get the destroyer skin. Maybe this is the weekend to play ranked because all the sweats are going to be on cryo. Maybe that's the play, everybody.
Yeah, don't even play Cryo week 1.
Yeah, yikes. Okay, well, that's cool. We got some raw cryo news mid podcast. That's pretty sick. I don't have anything else to say about cryo. It says exfils will be different, but doesn't. Yeah, I'm sure everything about it's gonna be different.
You're cutting out. What'd you say?
I said I'm sure everything about it's gonna be different. We'll have to figure out what's going on. It's probably gonna be very pinwheely with like locked exfils, rather than like having free ones. But
yeah, and we're gonna get annoyingly stopped at many different points trying to get out because once you're in, they don't want you out.
And I don't think it's annoyingly stopped. I think I like that. I think that's good.
Oh, I meant like annoying in the like. That was a role play moment, I think.
Interesting.
In my brain. Sorry.
I think that's all I've got for cryo.
I'm good on cryo.
I think we'll save lore for the end.
Okay.
We got our first balance patch. What? Did you go through patch notes by any chance? Or
no, but I heard secondhand. I didn't like read it for myself.
Okay. I can just give you the highlights.
Shotgun got nerfed. That was the big one that I heard about.
Yeah, so it was mostly fixes for stuff. Like almost all the runners got a fix. I guess I should say half the runners got a fix. Bunch of the maps got fixes. And then for weapons, I think we had 3 big changes. It's shotgun. The knife got like a nerf because it does less damage when you hit someone, or not less damage. Sorry, it makes their screen jiggle less when you hit them with it, which is interesting. Claymores can like take splash damage from other objects now. I guess people were like throwing grenades at them and they wouldn't blow up. Yeah, I actually, now that I'm looking at it again, I think it's just the nerf on the Waster. So I'll read it to you so you know what it is. Then you can tell us what your experience with how it's been going if you think it was actually a nerf. Because Zach and I have been joking that it was a buff.
Okay.
So
I did run it last night after the nerf. So
how'd it feel? Feel good or?
I felt the same, but I used it the same way as I've always used it, which is like if I'm in their face. So I just like I don't.
Yeah.
Was it like a range nerf?
Nope. Oh, okay. I'm gonna read them. Reduce leftward motion in firing recoil. That's like an animation thing. Increased duration of spin ready required before it can be interrupted by weapon fire. Redistributed damage fall off. It now retains a near max damage at point blank range, but falls off much more quickly. Reduced aim assist cone size. Reduce the influence of aim assist on pellet spread as they travel. That's it. That's the nerf.
That doesn't sound like a nerf.
It's nothing is what it is. It's more along the lines of a rework rather than a nerf, and all they kind of did was rework how the pellets work in motion at range, and it doesn't feel like they did anything at all. Which is good, because if it gets a nerf, it's going to be completely useless. It already kind of is, so.
Yeah. I don't... That doesn't sound like anything.
Nope, it wasn't.
And it didn't feel like anything either. I was just like, I'm already in their face, and that's why I'm using it. Because I was playing Outpost, I was like, I might as well just have it. Because my stash stuff. So I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah, it still does what shotguns do. That's the good news. But
maybe the animation, like you have to flip it longer. That was one of the lines, right? You have to flip it longer before you can just start shooting.
Yeah, we were worried that was going to have an effect, but it's like
that did not affect me in the slightest.
Yep.
When I decided to use the shotgun, it was out well before that mattered.
I've been seeing a lot of people saying that all of the nerfs were good and they were happy about it. So I think Bungie just kind of meta-read everyone and they put something in and called it a nerf and everybody thought it was a nerf and now they're happy and nobody's going to say a word about it ever again. So I think it was a 5D chess move is what it is. But
yeah.
The other big thing we got with the patch
Everyone
was...
has reactionary content rather than like having a stance on it beforehand. And so they're like, yeah, that was a good change. It's like, they didn't do anything.
Yeah, the amount of clips of Mr. Raffle Waffles going, W nerf! Yeah, just everywhere. But the other big change we got in the patch was the vault space stacking. What did you think about all of your meds, consumables being able to stack? Did that help your vault space out quite a bit?
The higher meds, yes. The self-reses, yes. It did help my vault space with that because I had quite a few of those. The big one that I noticed, though, was the purples, the 2x2s. Those getting stacked because I had shell IDs. I had like 15 of them, and they were taking up 8 slots. And that was like the first thing I noticed was that all of those got stacked. So I got like a third of my stash space back just from like self-reses and extra purples.
Oh, you did get a bunch of space back, huh? It freed up 17 squares in my vault.
Yeah, but you have, I've seen your vault. You have like 18 LMGs sitting there ready to go with all attachments.
I
and then you have
only have like 10 guns, okay?
I mean, I'm being hyperbolic, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's mostly gun related and they didn't stack guns. They didn't do any of that. So it's just like not helpful for you.
If anything, I actually have
I think the ammo one was useless, personally, but...
Yeah, what I was going to say is I think, if anything, I have less vault space than I normally would, because normally I would have 4 more squares that I could put stuff in, but instead that's holding like 400 rounds of MIPS rounds, because I can hold ammo now. And before I just didn't have any. So if anything, I lost vault space. That's kind of what it felt like to me.
I mean, at least you can actually store those now. So
yeah, overall it was a good change. There's no argument.
I mean,
I just wish that we got more because my vault is so tiny and I need it to be bigger.
I don't think that the Cyber Acme upgrade. I think the diminishing returns is not great because you spend so much time doing side quests to get enough, like to get the last 8 slots.
Yeah. You have to get Cyber Acme so 12. High, and then they're like, here's 4 boxes.
Here's 4 squares. It's like, I just did like 15 Cyber Acme quests instead of a priority contract. Could I maybe have 8 for the last 2? Like, can we do that?
You can have 5. That can be our compromise. We'll go from 4 to 5.
It's just like all those upgrades, and then I see like titles on Twitch of like, I have this much vault value. It's like, okay, you just have a bunch of gold sitting in the same slots that you would have other stuff that's more useful.
I did do that as well. I put a bunch of gold attachments. I had a bunch of gold attachments sitting there, and I bought the guns that they go on and then put them on so that I look cooler when the Twitch chatters come in. Yeah, I did do
that. At least you're honest. I did it too, though. I did it with the Strider. I haven't used it. It's just sitting there.
I still vendored all the ones that I thought were stupid. I just, I wanted to try the Copperhead one and the Volt Thrower one. I think I vendored. I picked up 2 for the Bully, and I just... insta-vendored because I think the gun's trash. But anyway.
What the heck is wrong with you? Give that to me.
Yeah, I probably should have kept them so that I can give them to my friends. But it's alright. I can buy a gold attachment every day, so it's not a big deal. I think that's pretty much it for the patches and the vault stuff. So far, it's like very milquetoast is how I'd describe it. It's like not anything big, it's not anything bad, it's not anything good. It's just like they are tweaking things. That's like better than them not being here, but definitely wish that we got some more of anything. You know, it kind of feels like...
Are you wanting them to change, like drastically change gameplay styles where it's like this season we're just going to have the focus be on this kind of archetype, play around it?
Not gameplay styles. I don't want them to touch the gameplay styles at all.
I mean like weapon balancing specifically. Like instead of like right now LMGs with shields are insane. If they nerf shields so hard that you're forced to use something else.
I don't think that LMGs with shields are insane. I think they're just better than everything else. And I think they did that to themselves by nerfing everything else. LMGs are the only thing that didn't get the nerf in between, I'll say last April and now. They're the only thing that didn't get nerfed. Yeah. And like, I think that was bad. And I wish we could revert back to how everything was. But no, I'm not talking about that either. I think if everything stays as it is right now, I think that's also fine. Like, I don't think that the LMGs with shields are like that much more OP than everything else. I just think that they are better than everything else. No, I want them to play with the economy. That's what you have to do in an extraction shooter, and it feels like Bungie doesn't quite understand that yet. There are way too many Panacea kits floating around. There are way too many self-revives floating around. The ability for me to buy an infinite amount of ammo is pretty ridiculous. That shouldn't be floating around. I should definitely not be able to get purple shields, let alone Nucleorc should not give me 10 for doing the last priority contracts. That's pretty crazy. I just think that our economy is a little bit flooded with stuff right now. And I think that that's going to fade because of the traces. I mean, we're kind of already seeing it. Like we saw a huge spike in purple shields and purple bags like a week ago. And that's like heavily died down now because I think most of them have been deleted at this point. But like the amount of self-revives that I'm seeing is unholy, and it should not. There's just way too many. So I want to see stuff like that. I want to see more tweaks on our economy, what we can buy from traders, how much we can buy from traders. And then I also want to see like the loot on maps tweaked quite a bit. There's like not nearly enough stuff on maps for us to be looting. I think that the key rooms like suck pretty hard. And I'm taking like less than 10% of the stuff out of that key room every raid by choice. I don't want to pick anything else up. Yeah.
Can I stop you right there? Are you can you break down quality? Like, are you going into gold rooms and you're still walking out with nothing, or like purples aren't valuable enough for you? Like, what's the like, where's the distinguishing factor in this?
Yeah, it's purples. So the only way to get gold keys right now is by the 10% chance for the purple template to turn into a gold. And I haven't even gotten one. But yeah, the purple rooms, I think, are just complete buns.
Okay.
And
I
like,
did get into a gold room. It is insane.
Well, they're kind of not, though, because they only have gold barter items, and then you have a chance for, like, gold attachments, and then there's, like,
the one I had a gold attachment
shield
that we divvied out.
Yeah, so I've pulled probably, like, a consistent one gold attachment out of the purple rooms, but it's, like, none of them have been the good ones, though. Like, I haven't found, like, a long shot attachment, the demolition gold attachment. I got the Outland one.
Do you want to try it later?
No, I think that one kind of sucks.
The silencer is not good enough for you?
Well, I think the Outland's not good enough for me is more what the issue might be there. I don't know. I want there to be more. I want everybody to walk out with a gold attachment when I hit a gold room. Like, that's crazy that or like, I want everyone to get 2 or 3 of the gold barter items. I don't want to hit the gold room and, like, what I see people do is they hit the gold room, we get, like, 1 gold attachment, there's maybe a gold shield, and then there's, like, 1 gold 2x2 item, and, like, that was your gold room, and the rest of it's, like, purple and blue stuff. Mostly blue stuff. And I think that's, like, really disappointing. Yeah.
Maybe I'm, like, too in the weeds, but, like, all the blue and purples that you're talking about generally are, like, the collectible pieces that you need to get your titles, and because I want a title, it feels valuable to me.
Yeah, the collectibles are good, but, like, we're not getting like, it's blue bags and blue shields and then, like,
you just, like, want the utility to be better. Like, my gameplay should improve on the risk I took this gold key in, is kind of what you're getting at.
Yeah, I want the okay, if I artificially put a number of, like, let's say there's 20K in the blue key card room, there's 40K in a purple and 60 in a gold. I think all those need to jump up like 20K more for each room. Like, I don't think that there's enough stuff. Yeah. We're also like we're pushing these key card rooms when we hear them opening, and it's like so easy to kill people that are stuck in there because they're like death traps. And just like the risk is not worth the reward in any way, shape, or form, I think.
All right.
And then I think that like regular POIs just aren't dropping enough good loot as well. So it's just stuff like that. I want tweaks to the economy. That pretty much sums up the whole thing. I want tweaks to what we find in raid, what we're able to buy out of raid, the amount of stuff we're able to buy out of raid. I want like tweaks on all of that, and it doesn't feel like they care about that. They think that it's in a pretty good spot. And I think it's in an acceptable spot, but I don't think it's in a good spot. Similar with the guns, which means it'll probably just stay that way forever. But, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. I think that's all I have for marathon stuff outside of lore. Anything else you want to talk about before we jump into marathon lore stuff?
No. I'm
Nothing,
good.
huh?
No, everything that we talked about is kind of what's been on my mind.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm so excited for the lore talk. Okay, yeah. So I had 2 worries about Marathon. Since they
Lore
announced it
related or
in
just in general?
just in general.
Okay.
One of them was that there wasn't going to be enough stuff to do. Like I want it's really hard and it's like an unreasonable ask to ask for an incredible amount of content because you have to compete with stuff like Tarkov and Hunt Showdown. And like Tarkov, when I started playing Tarkov, we probably had like less than 100 hours of content in Tarkov. And at this point in time, it's probably like well over 400 hours of you grinding tasks and Lightkeeper and everything. But like you have to compete with that. That's just kind of the world that we live in. Even if your game's going to grow, like you still have to have the base amount, you know?
Yeah, and the base level keeps increasing. Like it keeps going up and you have to meet that benchmark to keep attention.
Certainly. So that was I think that was my biggest worry, was that there just wasn't going to be enough stuff. And as we talked about, we got like 80 hours of content for this first patch, which is crazy. On top of like, we still don't have cryo, we still don't have ranked, the gunplay's better than anything I've ever seen. So there is definitely an incredible amount of distance in Marathon, which is both ironic and also good. So overall, super good with that one. So that worry has been...
Do you think the content equates to a marathon?
Classic. A classic question to ask. And then another classic thing we'll do is I just won't answer because that's a marathon thing. So, and then my other worry...
What if it's a half marathon? That's what I was getting at. Are we at a half marathon right now? We need to get to a full marathon?
Yeah, maybe
Or are we at 5K right now?
No, yeah, maybe it's just like a 5K right now. We need to
go 5K, 3.2 miles. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Still got a ways before we are a marathon.
But like we could totally get that with cryo. I don't know. It kind of seems like there's going to be a lot to cryo. So it kind of depends. But and then the other big worry that I had about marathon, which doesn't exist in anyone's mind except mine because I'm a marathon fan, and it was that we just like wouldn't get any lore, or they would kind of brush off the old lore, or like try and not fit us in a timeline, or like pieces wouldn't fit. And I think that worry got bigger and bigger the closer we got to launch, because like we really put a lot of emphasis on characters that weren't part of Marathon, right? So we had an infinite amount of ARG material about the humans back on Earth, back on Mars, Orion, General Reed, Dr. Song, all these characters that like aren't
Strauss
part of. Well, we didn't get anything on Strauss though. Like that's what the worry was, is we didn't get anything on the original Marathon characters. Like we.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So I think that was like my biggest worry, and it wasn't looking good for the first like 40 priority contracts that I did, because it was just kind of all nonsense and stuff that we've seen before. But like the last 60 priority contracts have been phenomenal. So I guess I'll just go through them, and we'll start with Mida because theirs is the best. So the last few priority contracts for Mida, we end up like breaking into Outpost, we're breaking into all of the rooms, we're killing commanders and taking their data cards, and we're like putting together the pieces of history of Marathon before. And the big thing that happens is we break into the one armory and we get a bunch of UESC documents, and it pretty much puts the entire story together, which is really good. So what we knew before Marathon launch is that Marathon 1 is canon. Everything that happens in Marathon 1 happens in all of the timelines. And then Marathon 3 makes it so Marathon 2 is its own timeline, and then there are 7 other different timelines in addition to that. So, like, Marathon 1 goes, and then at the end of Marathon 1, it splinters into 7 different timelines. And they haven't given us, like, any information on, like, what timeline we're in, or, like, any of that stuff in any way, shape, or form. And with the ARG stuff, we pretty much, like, stopped all of that there. And then with the ARG stuff, we jumped into, like, more information that's, like... I mean, even right now, we don't know what timeline we're in. But what we learned is that 10 years after the marathon left, and keep in mind it takes 100 years for the marathon to get to T.O.C. 10 years after the marathon left, we get a message randomly that says somewhere in the heavens they're waiting, which is a famous Durandal line. And so the implication there is that Durandal somehow, some way got a message back to Earth 90 years before the marathon, made its travel to T.O.C. that there were like aliens and there was going to be trouble. And then 90 years after that, so a full 100 years, which is after the marathon gets to T.O.C., we lost communication with the marathon. And then 100 years after that, so now we're like 200 years, the humans put together their huge fleet, and then they got to T.O.C. in that 100-year gap, or in the 90-year gap, sorry. So there's like a lot of information there. Number one is that like somehow we knew about the attack before it actually happened. Number two is the humans were able to build a huge like fleet of spaceships and people and get it all ready to go like investigate the marathon crash, which is crazy because it took us 120 years to build the marathon, and they did that in under 100 years. And then in 90 years, they got to T.O.C., so it's way faster than what we were doing before. So we like somehow, some way unlocked speed of light travel. All of those questions are answered by one of the timelines in Marathon 2, which is that Durandal swung by Earth at the end of the closure of the universe, and he like flipped everybody off and was like, here's some cool technology, I'm out of here. So that's like heavily implied that like kind of already happened in this universe, and that's how the humans were able to get to T.O.C. faster. And then there's a 10-year gap as well from when the humans got to T.O.C. and from right now, present day in Marathon, what we're playing if I load up and click play. And that 10-year gap is UESC got there, and then 10 years later, all the corporations and their spaceships got to T.O.C. And in that 10-year gap, the UESC like covered up everything that happened at T.O.C. And this is all stuff that we learn in those documents. So the big one is UESC gets there, and the humans are just like killed and wasted and dead everywhere. So the reason that there like aren't human carcasses everywhere are because the UESC cleaned it up. They had 10 years to do it before we showed up. And what they learn is that, specifically in Orion's notes, is that the 4 showed up, and they were wiping the floor with everybody, and then Durandal and the security officer killed all the 4 on the marathon, and then the other 9 Mjolnir cyborgs killed the 4 on T.O.C., and they repelled the first wave of the 4. And all of that's freshly documented. After that battle was over, a bunch of the humans on the marathon were dissecting the SFIT compilers, the 4 warriors, and there are like 2 like 4-page long dissection notes on them dissecting them, and that was really fun to read because they don't have like the names of them, but they will say that like they were cutting the compiler open and its blood fizzled out into the air. And that's really cool because that's what happens to them in Marathon 1, right? When you're shooting them, they fizzle out into the air. And then the 4 warriors have the neon yellow blood, and when you shoot them, you see the neon yellow blood come out. So that was really fun to see, like, confirmed that those are both there. And then it also confirms that the compiler, just before I go any further, at the end of Marathon 1, I guess it's not the end, it's kind of like the middle. You kill the special cyborg man on the 4 ship who's controlling the compilers, and then Durandal makes a deal with the compilers, and they're your friends. And then for the rest of Marathon, the compilers are on your team, and you're killing the other 4 with them.
Yes.
And the other humans are there, and the human robots are there. So, like, the humans on the Marathon knew that the compilers were friendly, because we're like this alliance. And that's really interesting. I'm just going to leave that there since the compiler looks like he's a bad guy in New Marathon. So we knew the compilers were friends, and then obviously all of them, or most of them, I guess it's definitely most of them, not all of them, because we've seen that one's still on the Marathon, went with Durandal and they left, right? Got on the spaceship and they drove away. And then 3 years after the end of that, when Durandal left and we beat the 4 the first time, the 4 showed back up. And this actually cancels out one of the 3 timelines that we could be in. So now we're down to 2 timelines guaranteed on what we're in the Marathon universe. But the 4 showed back up because one of them, they glassed T.O.C., and they obviously didn't glass T.O.C. So they show back up with a huge fleet, and they massacre all the humans and kill them. And Orion has notes on this specifically, which are really cool. He says that it appeared that they were having some sort of comms scrambling communication issue, which implies that the 4 have more compilers that are enslaved because they were doing the same thing they were doing in the first wave of the 4 that showed up. And he says that the humans were like really struggling, and what the humans started doing was they were just trying to hide information, hide technology, hide people away that they could. And then at the end of his notes, he has a really chilling line where he says, even if they had an entire UESC fleet, they would have struggled to hold off the 4. Which is like really scary because like the 4 sent one of their piss boy waves to just kill all the humans, and like the best of the human technology probably couldn't have done it. And we read through more of the notes from Orion. It's just more like combat logs and what the 4 were doing. And at the end, he like starts to kind of get religious almost, and he's like, are we being punished by God? Like, is that why the 4 have showed up to like punish us because we're like sinners? And that's like a really fun, just more insight into Orion, because so far what they've showed us about him is that he's like this super evil, authoritarian, like Nazi-esque kind of a guy. But he's like not, and you can see it in the logs with the other UESC members. And the way that
he just feels like he's justified in his reasoning for why he does the things he does.
Yeah, he's a government
he
guy.
has the bigger picture.
Yeah, he's just a government guy. He's pro UESC, you know. So that's kind of fun that they show us that. We also learn that he uses like a runner shell as well. And it's like the consumer side of it. So he like still has his human body, but he can like, you know, plug into the avatar body and run around. And he actually dies twice during the time when we're on Outpost looking around.
I listened to one of those audio logs. That was crazy.
Yeah, he gets killed by the alien cancel, which is really fun. So those were...
He gets ripped apart. That was...
Yeah.
That was creepy. I was just sitting there listening to it in the middle of the fight, just like, what is happening right now?
But so it's really cool that they like confirmed that like 4 are there, compilers are there. Like we kept all of that stuff because a lot of the speculation was that it was gonna be like a whole brand new timeline that like didn't have any of that. So it's fun that we're like still all up in the regular timeline. And then we go through and we do the MIDA broadcast on Outpost, which is like probably the coolest contract that we do in game, which is really fun. And that's like pretty much where it ends for like lore stuff. Trying to think if there's anything cool that we learned else with the MIDA line. Basically just confirming that the aliens happened, all of that stuff happened, and that's kind of where that leaves that. Then there are 2 other big lines. Well, I guess there's 3, but the Traxxas one's like super lame, and then they like kick you out at the end. So I don't even care about that. We're not going to. I hate Traxxas. I'm a Traxxas hater, so we're not even going to talk about theirs. But the Section one and the Nucleorc ones are really good. So Nucleorc's the next best one. His starts off with just kind of discovering what the colonists did once they got there. And we get a lot of really dark stuff, like children under the age of 10 couldn't survive cryosleep. So when they first get there, they wake up like, I think it was 2,000 some odd colonists. And all of the children died. Anyone under the age of 10 died when they woke up because the cryo technology wasn't like thought out and tested well enough. And they try to hold a memorial for all of the children. Joy put this together, and the humans were like pissed, and they had like a small revolt. Which was like really sad. All this happens before the first attack in Marathon 1 too, by the way. So the cyborgs aren't moving around or anything yet. Yeah, so that's like really dark. They like couldn't grow food when they first got there. A bunch of the food on the Marathon had a bunch of issues, and so there was like a big starvation issue for the first couple years that they were on Tau Ceti. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, the fungus was just like making everything so much harder.
Yeah. So then after the first 4 attack, so in between the 3 years, the anomaly and the contagion show up randomly out of nowhere on Tau Ceti, and that's why we see like full buildings and roads destroyed by the anomaly, because it was not there when they first got there. And we learn a lot of cool stuff about both. One is that like people who get infected by the contagion like see dead family members that are like talking to them and giving them like information about the future, which is really crazy. And they're kind of like zombified, but then they're like still like conscious and talking and like can have a conversation, which is like really creepy. We learned that the contagion and the anomaly are like linked, like they have similar cell structure, which is like super interesting that they're like linked. Because one's like a physical contagion, and then the other one is like this crazy uh, physics laws defying thing. But that's really
Yep.
fun. And then we learned that the anomaly will play music that like mind controls people and makes them kill themselves. It makes them want to die. So that's kind of fun. People like humans aren't allowed to go anywhere near it. Dr. Song does a ton of work with the contagion. We learned that the contagion is like hungry and always growing, but it won't eat like plants or bugs. It will only eat like flesh. So like their animals, their cattle, and the humans is all it wants to eat, which is like super dark and kind of terrifying that it only wants to eat humans.
Yeah.
And then we learned that like there's a huge group of humans after the first 4 attack, and they're like a cult, and they're worshiping a compiler. The UESC thinks that they have a compiler in their possession. And they're like keeping it away, and that's why in the one video that we have, we see the little trinket that's like a statue of a compiler that was made.
Yeah.
So we learned that like after the compilers were friends and then they left, like clearly some of them stayed around, and some of the humans started worshiping them in classic human fashion. We worship things that we don't understand, so that's kind of fun. Dr. Song gets infected by the contagion. We find her body. It's like really sad. And at the end, she's like speaking as if she is the contagion, and she like threatens everyone and says that they're gonna consume everyone and eat everything, which is pretty terrifying. And then Gaius kind of like gives up toward the end of that contract line, and he's like really confused how it all works. And he thinks that there's like no way to stop it, and he just wants to leave Tau Ceti basically. And he's like all done, which is kind of
He's
fun.
like, this is not a great investment. I'm over this. Well, it feels like the whole planet is working against the humans, like literally fighting back against them naturally.
It absolutely is. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But
And it's doing anything like it's like the planet's alive almost. I would put that out there. Is like, what if
so
that was like a thing?
that's a bunch of the lore that they're hinting at, is that there's a working Kakantar in Tau Ceti. So there's like a lot more codex pieces that are like kind of all somewhat connected. But the short round of that like 2 hours it would take me to explain is that it basically looks like the Yarrow showed up to Earth after Pathways into Darkness. They told the humans about this planet called Tau Ceti, and that it had Yarrow tech on it, and that like the hidden secret plan of the U.S. government and the UESC since its inception was to colonize Tau Ceti because it had special Yarrow technology. And that's like the hidden lore. But basically, like the running theory is that there's a working Kakantar inside Tau Ceti, and that's why all these crazy things are happening. And that's also why Durandal went rampant when he did. And that's why the way that he went rampant is so much stronger than the other AIs, because like somehow, some way, the working Kakantar like infected Durandal or touched Durandal or something like that.
Yeah, and then like all that information just made his rampancy insane.
Yeah, because he learned it faster.
I can get behind that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so that was really fun stuff to learn from Nucleoric. And then Sakaguchi is freaking wild. Nana, whatever her name is. She is clearly a rampant AI, clearly in the jealousy stage of rampancy, and she doesn't see us as a human, but she sees our runner shell as her child, and she wants to make the runner shells reproduce and make more children that all worship her, which is terrifying. And she makes us infect our shell with a bunch of stuff, do all sorts of crazy things. And then she like gives it all back to Sakaguchi. We get to hear from Sakaguchi's like chair ownership. They all talk to us in one of the codex logs, and they tell us how we're doing such a good job, and everyone's so proud of us, and they can't wait for us to discover more. And that was kind of fun. But the fun part of that was that AI is clearly rampant, and still like operating and being kind of normal, which is a little bit terrifying. But
kind of Durandal-esque.
Very Durandal-esque.
Like the original
yeah.
marathon playthrough.
But yeah, so that's a lot of fun.
I'm fine. I'm just a little silly goofy. It's like, okay, you got a lot of power to be silly goofy.
Every time I talk to her, I'm like looking back. I'm like, guys, are you guys seeing this? Everybody else seeing this, dude? Do you guys hear what she said to me?
It's just like, yeah, I've just started getting into like the messing with your body. I think I have like 2 contracts in, and I'm already like, guys, this is kind of weird. Like some of the stuff she's saying, like this is not normal.
Oni interrupts 2 or 3 times, and she'll be like, okay, this is crazy. What she's doing is unsafe, and it's going to affect your consciousness, and you need to stop. And then they'll like fix the comms, and you go back to the worm lady, and she's like, oh, it's so cute how she cares for you. And then moving on, and we're like, okay.
Never mind, just kidding.
Yeah, so really impressed with, we kept all of like the marathon lore, we're clearly expanding upon it, and then like a lot of our new lore is like really cool, like what they're doing with the contagion and the anomaly is really fun. Arachne's terrifying. Every 3 VIP ranks that I get up on, I think I'm like a 10 now, he'll come talk to me and tell me how proud he is of me for killing everybody else. So that's terrifying.
Creating a vicious cycle of life.
Yeah, well,
one embraced in death.
Their whole thing is like really cool too, because it like actually makes sense. They're not just like this crazy cult that like is waiting for 72 virgins. Gotta get my hits in when I can. Theirs is like every time you die, you learn something more and you become closer to perfection. And that's what Arachne's pursuit is like they want everyone to be perfect, and the only way to do that is to burn the runner shells over and over and over. So there's like kind of makes sense. It's just like not very humankind friendly, the way that we're getting there. But there's like makes a lot of sense. So it's like not nearly as stupid as some of these other ones where I have 72 virgins waiting in heaven for me.
We went through Mida, Nuclear. Oh, Traxxas. I haven't finished those. You know about it? Anything special?
Nope, they're just lame. I hate them.
That's what I'm working through.
There's just like super boring. You like don't really uncover anything. It's like the normal stuff, and then at the end, she's like, "You're in the priority queue, and there's 40,000 priority queues ahead of you," and like that's how it ends. It's like super. It's very Traxxas-y. But we probably got less from the Traxxas one than we did any of the other ones by a significant margin.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Not much. And the tail end of this that I will say is that all of them were like there will be more in the future, or like we're just getting started sort of a deal. So clearly the plan is to add tons and tons of priority contracts, either throughout the wives, during the wives, with the release of CRYO, or next season, or whatever. So,
do you think they do a little bit for every single one, or do you think that we're going to stick to the seasonal focus?
I'm unsure. I'm unsure of what Bungie's capabilities are. If you were to ask me that question about BSG, I'd be like, we'd be lucky if we get one priority contract for one faction, because I know what they're capable of. But like, I'm unsure. Like Bungie seems to think that they're going to get a whole new map, a whole new set of enemies, which we need to talk about, and also a new runner shell out by June, which is insane. That is so much content. But like if they can do that, then yeah, I would expect priority, like a ton of priority contracts, at least 3 or 4 sections, so like 20 each every wipe is what I would expect. But I'm unsure on what their capabilities are at the moment.
Me too.
I don't know.
The structure is different than the Destiny dev team, so I'm curious how it works out.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for more of that stuff. Okay, to end it, maybe lore talk wise too, we will talk about redacted enemies here. So in the last patch note, one of the other things I didn't say was that they added 3 new chip mods, or maybe 4 new chip mods. One of them is called Punishment, and it reads as so. This weapon deals significantly increased damage against redacted combatants. Which is wild that we're getting a chip that does more damage against a redacted combatant.
Wait, they released that in the wild? It's like not data mined?
No, yeah, that's in the patch notes, and that is in the game right now, and it's only like found on CRYO. So that's pretty crazy.
Do you think CRYO does something else? Like takes us somewhere else?
Maybe, but let me finish. Let me finish. So
Okay,
the
all right, sorry.
patch notes for Season 2, what we're getting in June, not patch notes, like the sneak peek that we have, is we're getting
Okay.
Nighttime Dire Marsh, and then we're getting a new, and it says redacted enemies, which is interesting. So we have those two pieces that are like both called redacted enemies. Now that doesn't necessarily mean they're the same. It could just be anything. In fact, there's a pretty high chance that that's something else, and the redacted enemy that the chip does more damage to is specifically the compiler on Cryo. But with all of that, and the new caloric tasks about the humans getting infected and turning into zombies and like talking back to the humans. Dr. Song clearly changes her like consciousness, and she's talking as the entity itself and saying that like we know everything and we will consume everything. And we also have the YouTube short of General Reed at nighttime on Dire Marsh walking from the office back to his cabin. He finds the person. He says, "Hey, stop, what are you doing?" And then it turns around and it's the zombie and it kills him. We know that he dies to that, right?
You've been talking about this. I remember this.
Yeah, so between all three of those things, I'm like heavily wondering. I've got two running theories. Okay, number one is we're gonna get into Cryo, and there's gonna be a ton of compilers. Not just one, I think there's gonna be a ton of them. I think there'll still be a boss compiler, which is like this crazy boss fight that they're hinting at. But I would not be surprised if there are a ton of compilers. And then after Cryo comes out and like someone solves it, I wouldn't be surprised if the compilers are all over Outpost and the Pinwheel as well. I think that would be crazy. They've kind of hinted that the compilers are at the Pinwheel and that they're haunting stuff, and that's why things are broken and turned off, which is kind of fun. So that's one of my theories, is that there are going to be compilers everywhere. And number two is there are just going to be zombies everywhere. I think there are going to be contagion colonists all over everywhere. And I think that's what the chip is going to be for. And then my new running theory for Season 2 is we're just going to straight up get the 4. Which would be
I don't know about 4 that early. And I would say the compilers feels more real than the zombies because the contagion makes them just mush and just become a part of the planet.
No, the
It doesn't make them zombies.
The contagion turns them into full zombies, and that's a Marathon thing. Like the Flood from Halo comes from Marathon, and it was an enemy that's teased in Marathon, and there's a ton of like artwork for it, and it got scrapped at the last second. So like the zombie colonist is like, that's a Marathon thing. Flood comes from Marathon. So
maybe. I like the compiler idea first. I feel like if I had it, my head says compilers and Outpost. They're kind of just everywhere. And then that segues into they were hiding something and they were actually helping. And then it ends up being that they were just holding all the zombie infected people. And quarantine breaks out because we mess with it.
The containment in Cryo Archive is just a zombie vault where they put all the humans. Oh, so I guess that's another thing we got from the new caloric logs was they had I'll go over this really quick too because this is also helping with my zombie idea. But when people got infected, they had full like rules for the quarantine stuff. So like if you were showing signs of infection, like physical signs of infection, they would lock you up for 2 weeks, and you weren't allowed to talk to anyone but UESC personnel. If you were showing mental issues of being infected by the contagion, they were locking you up indefinitely until the next set of humans got there to relieve you. And if you were talking like you were part of the contagion, like what happened to Dr. Song, they were killing you and burning your body on the spot. So the colonists were terrified of the contagion, and they had containment stuff in play. Anyway, that's more little fun stuff. But
I think it's gonna be a stretch of 2 seasons. I don't think we get it all in one.
Well,
I am slurring my words so hard. I think we're stretching it out 2 seasons. I think compilers everywhere at night, teasing. Maybe at the latter half, there's like some sort of like outbreak that's like an event of some kind.
That'd be fun.
I could see that. I just don't know if like season 2 is like zombies. You know what I mean?
I think my realistic expectations, like what I think is going to happen, is that this chip is only for the compiler, and it will only affect the one boss compiler, so it'll be completely useless. Yeah. And we will only have the one compiler. And then I think that Season 2 and Dire Marsh will get like very, very few infested colonists hanging around, and that's it. And I think that's like what my realistic expectations are. But like my pipe dream giddy, childish brain wants to have 4 in June. That'd be amazing. But
You're
the
not getting
potential's
that. I don't think you're getting that.
the potential is there with all the redacted enemies and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see where they take it. Marathon is already this new Marathon game is already like 10x more than what I was expecting from them. So I'm excited to see like really what their output is, because we just don't know yet.
Yeah, I think that for our year 2, that's what I think. I think they fully flesh out the anomaly and the like planet working against you. Maybe they hold off on what's the Forerunner equivalent?
Yarrow.
I feel like they,
or if you're one peg
tease...
from Tarkov, you say Jarro because you didn't do any research on how to pronounce the Marathon terms.
Okay, that was irrelevant. Yarrow.
Yarrow.
I think that the Yarrow are teased at the end of year 1. The 4 show up. They're our focus, and then the Yarrow later down the line. We circle back around.
Interesting. I don't think any Yarrow exists anymore. I'll be honest. I think.
I don't mean like that. I just mean like that we actually like get like, because if it's Forerunner S, it's just a bunch of like remnants of whatever's left over. What I'm saying is like we actually get to explore, like we find it on T.O.C.
Yeah.
And it's there. I'm convinced on that. I could get behind that. And then if you were to entertain that idea further, we actually go find it, and our job is to shut it down. But then there's something else going on that keeps us engaged.
Yeah, I'm excited. There is really like an infinite amount of stuff they can do with it, so I'm excited to see where they go with it. I've been pretty happy with it for the most part. There are definitely some things that I don't like, but for the most part, I think overall it's been much better than what I was expecting from the company that made Destiny 2, which is like, I mean, that's a bottom tier game easily. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think that's all the lore stuff. I think I got all of it. I think I sufficiently spoiled everything for everyone who hasn't played. So
perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries. When you get back this on like Monday from the weekend, I will have done all of CRYO, and I will be ready to spoil all of it for you then as well. So you can always count on me.
Oh, goody.
No worries.
Perfect.
Oh,
I'm glad to have
goody.
partook and had a good time.
Yeah. Oh, nope. Happy with that. That's a good. But I don't have anything else. I don't have anything else to say about Marathon. It's good. Overall good. More than worth the money. Absolutely has beat all of the hate. No other game could have done it. Looks super healthy. Incredibly healthy. Doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. So
can't. Sorry.
Yeah, like they literally can't. They literally cannot say anything bad about it. It's pretty wild. The critique went from "this game sucks" from Ninja, the retard, to saying stuff like, "Oh, I just don't think people want to watch it, so I'm not going to stream it." And like that's what the critique. Even Nick Merckx, who said the game was terrible, said the exact same thing. All of the streamers, they make the rounds because they all follow the same dumb guy. And all of them are just saying, "Oh, I just don't want to stream it because people don't want to watch." So they're admitting that they're sluts, but it's okay.
But you're a streamer.
Yes. Comparing me or putting me on the same scale as them would be outrageous on multiple levels, but yes. Technically I am streaming right now. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got for the podcast. Anything else? Anything you want to add before we push the boat off into the water and shoot fiery arrows at it? Alrighty, well, good one. Hopefully we'll be back with another one sometime next week. We'll try not to do 11 days since the last one again.
That's cool with me.
Alrighty, all done. Bye-bye.
Bye.